This one here for my go-getters, them gorillas. Businessmen used to be coke dealers and cold killers. We from the bricks, it gets no realer. Pressure bust pipes, but it also turned cold. The more millions was on the floor, now it's no ceilings. Lonely at the top, when you hot, when you not, shit, that's a cold feeling. I'm from the era where hot boys was cold chilling. Nowadays they give props to those they know squilling.
There was a situation that happened in Newark where my oldest sons kept talking about how bad Newark was, and I used to always fight about how I loved Newark and I would always fight for Newark. And their mother got to the point where she said she didn't want her children in Newark. So I would always fight for them to come to Newark. Lo and behold, the one time I brought them down to Newark, from Rollway down to Newark, we riding along Bergen Street right before we get to Clinton Avenue, and these guys was behind my car beating up on another guy. They came out of the driveway beating up on another guy, blood everywhere. My son seen this. These are my two youngest. My two oldest was there, and they was saying, "Dad, he got a gun, he got a gun." So at this point, I'm trying to get my sons out of harm's way. Just trying to get them out of that situation. We get to the next block. I seen the police on the corner. I told the police guy what was going on. He made a big U-turn and start coming back down Bergen Street. We heard a gunshot go off. I never knew what happened that day, never wanted to know. But when that gunshot went off, I got angry and started yelling and screaming at my sons. "Don't ever let me catch y'all on these streets. You see what just happened? Blah, blah, blah." I'm going off as a parent because I'm afraid for them at this point. My 14-year-old son at the time says, "Dad, you always talk about being part of the solution, not part of the problem. What are you doing about it?" And I was stuck. I did not have an answer for my son who just asked me what was I doing about it. So I vowed from that day forward that I would never be in a situation ever again where somebody asked me what was I doing for my community and I not have an answer.
First, I just want to congratulate Al Tariq for the work that he's been doing in the city for so long. It's finally coming to a head. You know, he's getting the acknowledgement that he deserves, the expansion that needs to happen. People are seeing lives being changed and him engaging youth in our city. He's doing great work. I can attest to that, and we try our best to make sure that we stay plugged in. Full transparency, I didn't even know he had all of this stuff back there. So the last time I came down here to lay a track myself, for brother called me to come over and do something. So I went back there. I was like, Jesus, you got all this stuff back there, man. They had, looked like he had Charlemagne the God back there doing it. But it was serious, man, and I was surprised and excited at the same time that the brother is doing real work in this, and he from this community. He believes in this city. He believes in the young people here. People see so much negativity going on. People need to see somebody doing something the right way, doing something positive, and making something real about it, and having the connections that you have, brother. So I appreciate it. And trauma is real.
Yes.
So we need trauma recovery. Trauma is real, right? All of us have experienced trauma. If you grew up in these neighborhoods, there's no way in the world you have not experienced some form or level of trauma. You don't know what it's called or how you deal with it, but it's trauma, right? The amount of violence that you hear, that you see, the things that go on in your neighborhood and your community, it's difficult not to be traumatized from it, right? I grew up in Newark. I've experienced trauma myself, right? So as an adult, I'm still trying to recover from trauma,
right? Trying to
find ways to deal with my own personal trauma, right? Because when you don't deal with trauma, then you act out on other people, and because they make all these things available to us, guns, drugs, and everything else, that trauma explodes. It explodes in high schools, explodes in hallways, explodes around just Maplewood, explodes all over the place. The trauma is real. Right. So we have to deal with it. And so that's why I appreciate Al Tariq. Anything that we can do, we're going to support it and make sure that this thing is successful. He's already successful. All he needs me to do is help toot his horn and blow it out loud and make sure he gets some money over here so this thing can grow, right?
That's some air.
So keep doing it. Keep supporting the brother. He's doing great work. And the whole family over here at the Hub. Shout out to the whole family at the Hub that's doing the work over here. Love y'all. Keep pushing, man. Do the right thing.
And I opportune new beginnings, different than if it should call. This
go, let's go, let's go. Hold on.
Why do I hear myself like?
We in the studio. This how it go.
That's how you get form though.
That's exactly what you
The H.U.B.B. Arts and Trauma Center. Equal justice. The bridge.
Healing is the answer.
The only answer.
With a choice, regardless, right? You're always presented with a choice, a negative and a positive. And whatever one is stronger, that's which one you're gonna go to.
Like, huh? Who said future? Like that. And that's exactly what it is. We have to start, treating our children, any child, in that manner. They the future.
I can just shine a light a little bit on the ACEs so that we can kind of know what we're talking about for those of us who maybe don't. But we're talking about any type of physical or emotional abuse. We're also talking about living in a household with an adult who, fill in the blank, right, has mental illness, domestic violence, substance abuse. Okay, so all those things we don't always, especially in our community, we haven't always accepted that those things impact our children in the home. But when we reflect on our own lives, we can reflect on the fact that those things have affected us.
I promise you. The H.U.B.B. Arts and Trauma Center. Equal justice.
The time is now.
The bridge.
Healing is the answer.
The only answer.
Build the bridge.
Lady Macbeth, stains in my hands, slaughter old me's, I do it again. OJ my case, they mad at my wins. This holy trinity, this new virginity, I'm born again. New me is here and I'm in the sin. Seeing the ghost to all my victims. This is the end, yeah.
New day, new game. I'm a ball. New Jersey, new beginnings in the city. New Jersey, New Jersey.
I try to tell a nigga when the time coming like a package I deliver. Bring that thing, I got the brew, know my word beyond true. Bring the spot up in your section, be